And
And like
Pence
Mike
pulled some
Pence
stuff
was-
afterwards.
Okay,
too.
boys, it's time to get started. Welcome, everybody, to the official relaunch of the Hippy Dippy Roundtable after a 2-year hiatus, so I could be on the ground covering the war in Ukraine. I'm still going to continue to do that, of course, but now I'm going to host these bi-monthly in order to, well, actually every month, in order to, add some more conversation with the election right around the corner. I think the format has a lot of interest now. Piers Morgan is grabbing the format by the horns and dragging it around on Talk TV. And so I'm interested to get back into the game, and these fine people are here to get back into the game with me. And today they're going to be debating why America is so divided and how we mend those divides. I thought of this topic right after the Trump assassination, and while that has gotten out of the news, well, I guess pretty quickly with how fast the news has developed, the divides are still there. Division is still a big issue in the United States. And so I'm going to go around.
And so naturally you invited a Canadian and a guy from the UK.
Absolutely. We need foreigners to help offer their foreign perspectives. Thank you for being our token foreigners. Now, we're going to debate these issues, but first, I want to make sure we go around and have everybody introduce themselves, brief, 30 seconds, and then we'll move into introductions, and then it will be a general free-for-all. But please do bear in mind that do not barrel over people. If you do, I will mute you, and I don't hold it against personally anyone. But, I'm a law and order guy. I'm, blue line when it comes to moderation, 100%. And I want you guys to make sure that we have a good debate environment where nobody gets boxed out. And, keep it short and punchy is my only piece of advice today, because if you don't, you're going to ramble, and then you'll take everybody else's time. Okay, you guys ready? Fantastic. So we're going to start with Adam Mockler. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Adam Mockler. I work for a company called Midas Touch, one of the largest liberal organizations. I do like on the ground stuff. I've been to a lot of MAGA rallies. I'm excited to chat with you guys. Thanks for hosting this, Dylan. And I hope we can have a cool chat about this and it's not too heated. But yeah.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to throw it over to Hake.
Hey guys, I'm James Hake, host of the Hake Report, live Monday through Friday. And I take your calls, so feel free to call in. I'm on Jesse Lee Peterson's network.
Fantastic. I'm going to now throw it over to Jebtan.
Jebtan, small government conservative, pretty much just online for the sake of doing debate panels because I'm a degenerate.
Fantastic. Aren't we all? Lecture Fan.
Thank you. I'm Lecture Fan. I've been doing conservative politics on Twitch since November 2013. I'm a guest host on Montana's leading statewide AM talk radio show, Montana Talks. I'm a commercial litigation attorney. I'm a partner at a full-service law firm, and I love debating politics and keeping everybody informed of the truth. And that's why we're here. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Dylan.
Happy to have you back and happy for you to be unbanned on Twitch. We can now throw it over to Lonerbox.
Hey, I'm Lonerbox. I'm a Scottish YouTuber. I make videos talking about politics. My country is actually quite chill and politically sane, so I like interfering with other countries instead.
Fantastic. You're really good at that, actually. Now I'm going to throw that over to President Sunday.
I am President Sunday. You can find me on YouTube under that name, and everything Lonerbox said about the UK is a lie.
Okay, and now we're going to throw it over to Crenshaw.
My name is Rashad Crenshaw. I'm a liberal commentator, and I'm just happy to be here and debate with you guys.
Fantastic. First time on a Hippy Dippy, and happy to have you here. We're going to throw it over to More Perfect Union.
Yeah, no, check it out. Thank you so much for the invite. I appreciate being able to be the backup fill-in for whoever didn't show up. I appreciate it. Dylan, I've done a lot of these things with you guys, with you over the years. Conservative, constitutional conservative podcaster, the More Perfect Union on Twitch and a variety of other places. I'm currently a homeless vet. I'm a vet, a United States Veteran Submarine Service. I'm currently homeless because I'm going through a little bit of a situation. That's why I'm talking to you live from my pickup truck. And I'm looking forward very much to talking about this because while I understand that political parties can have their differences, I think the divide is abnormally wider than it has ever been. And I think it's a danger to the safety of the Republic of the United States. And I would love to see somebody on the left side of this argument talk about ways that we could bring her back closer to the center.
Okay. Well, I think that was almost an intro, too. But we're now going to do intros into the topic, and we're going to have 1 to 2 minutes. Try to keep it short and snappy and be considerate of the time that we are on a schedule, and there are a lot of you. And so we're going to
pick me first, and then I will just pass because I essentially did my intro.
Sure. Okay. There you go. Oh, I thought you were
Well,
gonna.
he said he's
I
he
thought
said
you were
he's
gonna finish.
passing.
No,
Yeah,
He
Oh,
should,
yeah,
he should be
pass-
required
yeah.
to sing us a song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, fantastic. Then we'll just go to Crenshaw.
Oh shit. Yeah, the right's more divisive. The end.
Okay, fair enough. Now we're gonna go over to President Sunday.
Oh, well, I wrote a whole thing, and now it looks stupid because I put effort into this. Okay, I think that the question posed to this panel contains a false premise that our political dividedness is a problem to be solved. I disagree. And while talking points like we need to heal the divisions in this country or we need to bring our country together are almost ubiquitous, they onboard an assumption that I think is not only wrong, but masks the real problem behind a more superficial one. And that assumption is that we are more divided than ever before. I don't think we are. In fact, not only do I think we have never been less divided, that this is so is itself the cause of the intensification of political hatred that I think motivates the question of dividedness in the first place. It is because we are so united on what the problems are, the stakes, the timelines, and the solutions available to us that everything so quickly boils down to a zero-sum game in which there is no air for compromise, even between those who can only watch and comment. Let them be cakes is no longer a viable answer even for those with power. The whole world is at stake for all of us. Petty alliances based on class, culture, religion, etc. have increasingly little solidity to them compared to the existential question of who's going to be elected to hold the questions of whether basic freedoms, equality, and even the habitability of our planet will be preserved or destroyed in their hands, and this is so for both the right and the left. And this makes us crazy, especially for those of us like on this panel, when we take a wage and build a reputation based upon whether people view us as allies in the bigger struggle or not, so that we have very strong incentives to be obstinate and to not even let ourselves treat each other reasonably. I'm sure some of us remember Rob Noor telling us how the fictitious General Alden's plan for pulling out the troops could have saved lives. This isn't because Rob is stupid, although he is also this. This is because Rob is invested. This is a funny example, but this kind of thing happens all the time in more subtle ways. In some, far from dividedness being a problem, what we are really entrapped by is our unity, the totalizing attitude it engenders, and whether conceived in terms of party, nation, class, race, etc., how it commits us all addictively to a death spiral in which no real communication or compromise can be risked. Thank you.
Okay, just on the 2-minute mark, basically. Now we're gonna throw it over to Lonerbox.
I don't personally think divisions are inherently a bad thing. I'd imagine if you live in a democracy, or in this case, a constitutional federal republic, divisions are probably a good thing. It's good to disagree on things, and that helps people to hone their positions and find ultimately somewhere that actually yields the best results for most of society. So I think the problem is what you have now is more like polarization, where you have, with no help from the internet, groups able to have their very comforting worldviews that they can just kind of give them little prescriptions and how to, and like immediate and short answers to every single issue in the world, so that you can just, basically what you're going to think about any particular issue before you've even started looking into it. And then you just work backwards and find all the information from whatever camp you're in that helps reinforce that belief that you were always going to have anyway, based on which camp you've chosen to be in. I would say both sides are to blame for this in a little bit when it comes to extremes, but the fact is the Democrats, for the most part, kept their crazies out. They have mostly rejected the insane wishes of the very, very far left in America, whereas the Republican Party is completely taken over by the likes of Donald Trump. Still, you have 70% of Republicans who think the last election was stolen. Divisiveness is that people complain about is generally their fault. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't kill kids.
We're gonna throw it over to Lecture Fan.
I think the obvious answer to why we're more divided now is because society has changed, and the question is, how has society changed over time? And I think the obvious answer to how society has changed, and you can see this in all the data, is less and less people are in traditional families, less and less people go to church on Sundays, less and less people are involved in community organizations. And a lot of societies change like that over time. As societies get more mature and as societies get more wealthy, people naturally turn away from God, turn away from Jesus Christ, and turn away from a true spiritual understanding of the world, and start to replace that with communism, with Nazism, all these other ideologies. And what we've seen in the United States and around the world with the global left going hardcore atheist and then trying to replace their spiritual emptiness and trying to get spiritual fulfillment from things like global warming, trying to stop man-made global warming. And then it leads to these extreme positions from the left, and you're seeing it from the Democrats in the United States. They take these hardcore, radical, extreme positions, especially like, putting men and women sports or transgender issues, all these sorts of things that are causing a lot of us that are basically still traditional believers that to be like, whoa, this is absolutely insane. And that's what's causing the division.
He gets it.
Okay, we're gonna throw it over now to Jebtan.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Loner and President Sunday on that core point of political divisions aren't our problem. Political divisions are good. Everybody, we should have a divided political atmosphere to avoid, pushing this giant ship that is the United States too quickly in one direction before we can, make up for generational gaps in belief systems. And we don't want to push the Overton window too much based on one generation when the next generation might not agree. The issue is personal divides. And I think there is a fundamental profit motive in the media to divide on both sides. I think they have perfected systems through social media and traditional media, even to get people to tune in by saying the other side is going to destroy the world. They're going to do it immediately. And if they get power for even a second, the world is going to get destroyed. Luckily for us, we've had 2 terms in the past 8 years, one from each party. Neither of them destroyed the world. Both of them, under Trump, people's lives were generally good. Economy was generally good. Under Biden, the economy sucked mostly because of COVID. And though I do have qualms with how Biden dealt with it, it recovered pretty okay. One of the issues is the reason why I resent the idea that it's just the GOP causing the personal division all the time is because we had 8 years of the GOP trying to work against this profit motive. We had McCain and Romney both attacking birthers in their own party, attacking people who wanted to do this sort of alarmism. And they lost their elections, while guys like Barack Obama and Joe Biden saying things like Mitt Romney wants to put black people back in chains, completely unfounded, they won their elections. And so we had a natural snapback of the GOP realizing there is a game being played that if we refuse to play, we are going to lose every election and we're going to lose it powerfully. And so Trump came in and went whole hog in the wrong direction, which was acquiescing to the poisonous game we're playing. And the Democrats have now clapped back and are doing the same thing. And so we just have this increasing personal divide, not political divide, caused by that profit motive.
Okay, now we're gonna throw it over to Hake. Also, Jeb, your camera is frozen, in a very unflattering angle. You should probably get rid of that.
Yeah, I'll just switch off split cam. Thank you.
I believe in you. I believe in you, Jeb. You'll do good. Okay, throwing it over to Hake.
Thank you. I think the reason that we are so divided is because we've become destructively divided. Is because we've become kind of a bunch of women. And shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the women.
Thank you, Hake.
We love the women, but both the conservatives and the liberals are, like a lot of you guys said, hating one another, unfoundedly thinking that they're better than each other. Trump should be a non-controversial figure. Like everything he says, perfectly reasonable, but he rightly pointed out that there's a lot of anger in this country, and that's really has no place. Because anger is what starts violence. Anger is what starts believing crazy things. It's like when you break up with like a girlfriend or a wife, or she's mad at you. There's no reasoning with her. She won't believe you, even when you're being perfectly honest, and it's clear to everybody outside that you're being honest. There is this fake unity of so-called civil rights that both sides kind of acquiesced to. Hate crimes legislation. All these things were very divisive in the pretense of bringing people together. And I agree with Lecture Fan that we got spoiled. And when you get spoiled, you tend to forget God. And I think even the Christians have forgotten God. So it's a mess.
I'm going to throw it over to Adam Mockler to wrap up the intros.
Yeah, so I think you can draw a direct line from Donald Trump's entry into American politics to the division we see today. And I think it was only amplified by social media. We could probably all agree on the social media piece. I don't know about that. But when it comes to Donald Trump, in 2012, his claim to fame in American politics was saying that Barack Obama wasn't born in America. He convinced a large portion of the country Obama wasn't born in America. A decade later, he's boosting Laura Loomer posts about Kamala Harris's birth certificate. But we can go to 2016. Donald Trump had the RNC chanting, "Lock her up." Michael Flynn comes on stage. Michael Flynn leads a "Lock her up" chant. And if conservatives in here are going to try to claim that Donald Trump never said "lock her up," I have the receipt, so I'd be careful with that one. Next, Donald Trump, everything he says is completely divisive. You compare his "Lock her up" chants to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. They had a rally a few weeks ago where the chant started yelling, "Lock him up, lock him up." Kamala Harris said verbatim, "We're going to let the courts handle that. Our job is to beat him in November. So what's the difference between a candidate who's leading the top of the ticket, who says all of the courts are rigged, all of the elections are rigged, the judge is rigged, the judge's daughter, Judge Merchan's daughter is rigged, versus the person who says we're going to let the courts handle that. And Tim Walz, we can look up the video, when the crowd started chanting lock her up, Tim Walz calms the crowd down and says we don't do that. So yeah. The idea that the two parties also, Hake says that everything that Donald Trump says is reasonable. Do you think Obama was not born in America?
Okay, now with that intro section done,
Don't think you're gonna like his answer.
We're gonna open it up to general area.
I love how this is a panel and what is the cause of the divisions in America, and half the panel, I think 3/4 of the panel is just like fuck the other party. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's my thing. So I want to go after that a little bit too on both sides. So the idea that Kamala Harris has been just like anti-lock 'em up as a narrative as a whole, it's sort of the issue I have with Democrats acting like Democrats have been so civil this whole time. They're just a little more covert in their lies. Sure, she clapped down lock him up in that speech, but in the same speech, she said, I know Trump's type when she's talking about scammers, fraudsters, criminals, and things like that. She clearly wants him to be locked up and made several statements aligning with the idea that he deserves to be locked up because he's a criminal. But then just when they say to lock him up, she's like, let's let the courts handle that. She clearly is making a stance that she thinks he should be locked up, but she's more covert about it, which is fair. That is good.
That's right. Do you disagree that Trump is a criminal?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
but what I'm
Yes.
no, but I
100%.
also
I 100%
Okay.
Wait.
disagree.
We
Sure, but
gotta let him
I was
finish.
being asked.
Thank you.
But then I also have an issue on the other side with Hake. Everything Trump says is reasonable. Even when he said he became a Republican because he thinks Republicans are so fucking stupid that they would vote for him no matter what. You think everything Trump has said is reasonable. This is the problem, is I don't think you're bought into those ideas politically. I think you're bought into those ideas because, as President Sunday said, there's an environment that has incentivized you to say either everything Trump has said is reasonable, or on the other side, everything Kamala has ever said is reasonable, and she's never made any similar mistakes to Trump, and she's a completely unrecognized. It's apples to bowling balls when you're comparing the two.
Hold on.
Not.
But Jet 10, let's be honest here. Donald Trump's criminality is possibly nation-ending. Like when we talk about Kamala Harris speaking about how much of a criminal Trump is. Oh yes. If January 6th was successful, what the fuck do you think would have happened?
What do you mean? What is your term of successful?
If January 6th was successful, if those
he successfully got them to delay the vote.
No. If Trump overturned the election, what do you think the United States, anyone who is constitutionally loyal, what do you think the solution would have had to be to oust an illegal president? Would that not be their nation ending?
No, it would be suing. The Supreme Court would evaluate which slate of electors was legal. They would find that the original slate of electors was legal, and it wouldn't have ended the nation.
Oh, really? Is that why the Supreme Court? Is that why the Supreme Court is unbelievably?
Wait, give us a moment. I just want to make sure we have one at a time because we have 4 people trying to talk. Okay, so I saw there was a few people trying to jump on this. So I want Jebtan. You just said what you think would happen, and so Crenshaw. I want to have you throw that question at MPU because it looks like he wanted to respond to that. Adam and Loner, I saw you wanted to talk, so I'll throw it to you after, okay?
All right, cool. Am I talking or MPU?
Yeah, MPU.
I think you're asking MPU something.
MPU, do you want to answer that question? I saw you wanted to respond to it.
Yeah, I mean, the point of fact is that there is a constitutional question as to whether or not under the existing law that Mike Pence had any responsibility whatsoever to declare that slates of electors that were brought by certain states where there were questions about the legality of the way the vote was conducted, particularly Wisconsin with their democracy in the park, the way they collected ballots, the way that Georgia allowed people to ballot harvest and stuff ballot boxes, and way Michigan, when Michigan certified their slate of electors without actually being able to balance the ballot books. That's 100%. 72% of the precincts in Michigan could not certify that their ballots were actually balanced.
Hold on.
No, wait a second, because let me finish, and then I'll let you come back.
Okay, wait, MPU, could you wrap it up in 20 seconds though, because that's a lot to respond to. So I want to make sure that he can, there's not too much,
Yeah, the basic tenet was that if a vice president under the current law or the law that existed in 2020, it's been changed since, if the vice president thought that the elector certificates were not in proper form, he could have, under the law, he could have made an argument to say, no, we're not gonna certify that. And they didn't choose to do that.
Hold on.
Why is Doghouse here? What's he doing here? I want to throw this over to back to Crenshaw. I don't know why he got in here. Crenshaw, and after Crenshaw, we're gonna go to Adam.
Yeah, okay. So, first and foremost, literally every single case that Trump and his team made about stolen elections, XYZ ballots, all of them were proven to be false, particularly with the video in Georgia. That video was spliced, and I can give you the link. I can give you the link. I don't mind. I can give you the link of the video in which Giuliani and them literally spliced the video. But if you actually watch the video, that box was not automatically, it wasn't already under the table. It was a box of ballots that they had counted that day, and it put in the box under the table that had no box under it from the beginning of the day. Everything is on video. There is absolutely no secret ballot as it pertains to Georgia, period. I don't know why you guys are believing this, especially given the fact that Giuliani literally sat there and said, yeah, not gonna lie, I did make up that story about, those election workers stealing the election. I did make that up, but it was my First Amendment right to make up that story. And sure, I ruined two people's lives, but
I hear it, right? You don't want to hear it.
Okay, MPU, you can respond quickly, and then we got to throw it to Adam because other people want to talk.
And then can I get in there, Dylan? Can I get in
I'm
there?
learning so much about the causes of division in America. This is
Okay,
brilliant.
but we got to move. That's why I want to throw it to Adam because we got to move on.
I'll say this one thing with respect to the cases. 62 cases were brought forward. 60 were dismissed for the concept of latches. Does anybody on this panel besides me and Lecture Fan understand what latches means? The cases
do you also acknowledge that even the ones do you also acknowledge
the cases were never heard on the merit?
Do you also acknowledge that although that was the reason they were just hang on.
Courts oftentimes take a position that they don't want to handle a thing because it's a political hot potato.
All the courts
or fraud, or maybe it's fraud.
Wait.
That's not what latches means, by the way.
Lona wants to respond very. Wait.
No.
Latches says that you cannot bring a
Wait. Okay. 1 second. Okay, we're gonna do this quickly. We're gonna go Adam, then Loner, okay? Because there's too many people to talk. Okay, Adam.
I was gonna respond to something 4 topics ago. If Lonerbox wants to wrap up the election fraud thing, I can bring it back to division.
Okay, so Loner, you can talk to MPU.
Okay, yeah, MP, you're not acknowledging that even the cases that were dismissed on latches were also, they reviewed the evidence as well. I don't know why you're leaving that part out. There were several cases, much more than 4 or whatever that you mentioned, that were also assessed on the merits, and not 2, like at least fucking 7. So I don't know where you're getting that from. Also, okay, you're lying, okay. Also, even Giuliani admitted that he was lying. He said that it was just his First Amendment right to do so. Even Fox News had to settle the Dominion case for the same reason. Jeb, I don't know why.
Exactly what the latches throwouts were for, which is that one party was unreasonably pushing cases and delaying cases in order to attack the other party and make it harder for the other party. That's the reason they got dismissed on latches, not just because it's a political hot potato, but because even Giuliani, Steve Bannon, they admitted behind closed doors that they were putting through cases they knew were going to fail in order to sow distrust in the election. That is what the latches doctrine is for. It is so that you don't allow a party to just recreationally attack and sue and push lawsuits just to delay a vote, just to delay a count.
Now, what MP, now I hate to crush this, but the problem is this entire topic we're talking about right now is the main event of tonight. And so if we just have this as also the main event, my God,
I got something else.
I can bring it back.
So I know we got So Adam Mockler has been waiting very patiently, and so I'm going to throw it to Adam. I know who else is waiting. I got a mental note, Lecture, and I think Hake is waiting too.
Yeah, so Jebtan, I'm bringing it back like 10 minutes here. I totally disagree that Kamala Harris shooting down the lock him up chance are basically equivalent to Donald Trump basically allowing the chance to happen. Also saying it himself. Maybe we should lock her up. And the idea that the idea that Kamala Harris saying something to the effect of, I know Donald Trump's type. I've beat him before. I think that's more of her saying, I beat him in elections before. He's a cheater. We can see, like, if you disagree with any of this stuff, do you really think he's not a cheater? He's not a criminal. So I'm just to bring it back, I totally disagree that Kamala Harris shooting down the chance is the same as Donald Trump emboldening the chance. Can you see the difference there?
Can I jump in real quick?
Okay.
So the issue is, and the issue lies in your recollection of the speech. You left out the parts where she describes that he is a criminal, deserving of being locked up. When she says, I know his type, she's not saying I've beaten him before.
Did she say he's deserving of being locked up?
Yeah, well, Yes,
he added that
she's
in, he's
saying, as a
editorializing.
prosecutor, I know Donald Trump's type. She is literally saying, I prosecuted and
Maybe she knows the type of guy that has 34 indictments. She knows the type of dude that has 34 indictments, and he's not fit to be president.
Just admit that she thinks he should be locked up because
But
she thinks
how
he's
is
a
it? But
criminal.
it's not divisive for
That's
her to
what
say
she
that. Given how
Can you
far...
admit that Kamala Harris will never explicitly say lock him
Why
up in
are
the
you
same way
guys-
Donald Trump would?
If it's not
it's-
divisive,
Will Kamala
why
Harris
did-
ever say lock him up?
What?
It's
One
not
at a time.
divisive.
One at a time, please.
If it's not divisive, why did Adam feel the need to leave that out and claim that she doesn't want him locked up?
That's
Because
it. Doesn't.
is
It doesn't. Hey,
divisive.
look. It doesn't really matter what
That
he
was
says
the
because the
entire
reality of the
intent.
situation is like we
His
just
entire
established.
point was she
Like
doesn't
as
want
we
him
One
just
second. I can't.
established.
Wait. If you're both talking at the same time, I can't hear anything. I want Crenshaw to respond, and then I want to throw it over to Hank because he's been waiting very patiently the whole time to say nothing. Oh, actually, lecture fan. Sorry.
The reason why I'm saying it's not divisive is because if you look at the level of back, I don't want to make it a J6 debate again, but the point of the matter is the level of crime Trump committed is democracy ending, capable of ending democracy. Calling him a criminal and drawing a line in the sand and saying this motherfucker is a criminal, this guy is capable of ending democracy, this guy needs to be locked up. When the line is drawn this far and you guys are grading him on such a crazy curve, somebody has to say something and demand actual rule of law. That's not divisiveness. That's taking a stand where it needs to be made.
Okay, I'm glad we admitted Kamala also said she wanted Donald Trump locked up. I'm glad we've gotten there. You
yes.
can disagree
The
that
Constitution
it's
oath
divisive,
breakers
but-
should be locked up. Wow.
So I do.
divisive.
Okay, quickly, Adam. I know Adam was trying to respond as well since it was his question, so I want to give him 15 seconds before we threw it to lecture, who I know is going to have some things to say. If you had anything you wanted to say, because you were trying to interact with Jeb as well.
Sorry, can I just read this quote real quick?
Sure, if you want to read a quote.
I know Donald Trump's type. This is what Kamala Harris was saying. In these roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Perpetrators who abused women. And tell me which one he didn't do. Perpetrators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own game. So hear me when I say I know Donald Trump's type. Like, where is she saying, can you be as good faith as possible? There's a difference between saying something like that versus lock her up and emboldening your crowd to chant lock her up. You don't see any difference between
What
those two.
happens?
No, so
What
one
happens
is, yeah, I agree there's
Especially
a
when
difference.
Hillary didn't
That's
get
a question for
charged,
Jeb Tan, and then we got to go to lecture. I'm sorry.
I agree there's a
haven't talked.
difference, and I described the difference. I think in their divisiveness, Democrats are more covert. Donald Trump outright says, I want Hillary Clinton locked up, and that is bad, and you should not do that. Kamala covertly says, I want my opponent locked up. That is
But the
bad, and you
Republicans
should
are more
not do
openly
that.
divisive.
No, but
That's
Trump-
your stance is Republicans are more
over to-
openly divisive.
No. Democrats are
I'm sorry.
openly
The
divisive.
The other side,
Wait,
stop.
they're the ones sowing division.
Thank you, Dylan.
I will.
Jeb.
I'm gonna mass mute. I'm gonna mass
After the
mute.
election.
I'm mass
Thank you, Dylan. Thank
muting.
you, Dylan.
Lecture fan.
All right, thank you, Dylan. Appreciate that. I gotta say, Loner Box and Adam are like living on completely different planets, pushing false information because they don't even know that what they believe is false. Loner Box saying that the Democrat Party hasn't gone radical and the Republican Party has is just demonstrably false. Pew Global Research has done research on this where they've proven that's false. Adam Laxalt, or Adam Mockler, sorry, I got your name wrong, but you're clearly like just a TDS guy. I don't know if you've been diagnosed.
Hey man,
officially
earlier
with
you said
TDS
something
yet,
about
or if you actually like believe what you had, or if you just don't know the history of where the
hey, man,
divisiveness
earlier you were
began,
saying that the
because it actually
Democratic
began
Party-
in 2008 when Barack Obama first started. Thank you.
What did the research say?
It actually went back to 2008 when Barack Obama's 2008 campaign. I know you may not have been around for that, but that's exactly what it was. And you
Not
guys
able to
talking about like somebody actually locking up their political opponent are like living on a completely different planet. Donald Trump actually had the opportunity to prosecute Hillary Clinton. That was a closed and shut case. Donald Trump made the decision not to prosecute Hillary Clinton in an incredible act of deference to our process and everything else. And then you guys are talking about, will or will not Kamala Harris try to lock up her political opponents and abuse she's already doing it. She's a part of this exact administration that's doing this against Donald Trump right now, has filed all these frivolous lawsuits, and you guys claiming that Trump is a criminal over January 6th. Recognize he's never been convicted of any crime over January 6th, so you're all full of crap.
Well, hold on.
Wait. I'm sorry, Mr. Crenshaw. I threw it over. I promised
Literally
Adam.
not been convicted of any crime.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, Lecter fan keeps trying to.
I'm sorry, MBU, sorry.
Crenshaw.
Adam.
Lecter fan keeps trying to paint Democrats as all these radicals. Lonerbox touched on it, but like 70% of Republicans in Congress think the election was stolen. Do you think Kamala Harris is a communist Lecter fan? Like, do you think most sitting Democrats are communists? Because you used the word communist earlier.
When you propose price controls, yeah, that's a communist policy. Price controls are a communist policy.
Wait, do you think Biden is a capitalist or communist?
I don't think Biden is.
I think Biden's like Bill Clinton. Like,
okay, so when you have
true beliefs,
so when you have Lecter fans sitting here going, the other side, they're full of communists. Do you think like Democrats are groomers too? Are you going to call us communists and groomers and then say we're the ones being divisive?
I think the left has given itself over to sexual perversion. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're the divisive ones, and you're going to call it just doesn't make sense.
So like y'all like get the whole like.
But if we were communists, are cool with that.
That was no big deal.
Okay.
Do you think
we're gonna have Lonerbox respond, then Hake, and then President Sunday? Okay.
I was going to ask Lectrefan if he thinks like most American states are communist because they have like a lot of American states have laws against price gouging. I also want to correct myself. Actually, I misinformation earlier.
Don't.
It was
actually. You don't know what you're talking about. No, they don't.
It was actually 30 cases.
That's a lie.
It was actually 30 cases that were thrown out after the merits were assessed as well. As for the Hillary comparison, you have to understand the difference is that Hillary wasn't even indicted at the end, so she didn't plead the fifth once throughout all those fucking Benghazi hearings. Trump is a criminal.
Destroyed hardware.
She
obstructed justice.
Donald
Was
Trump
she
made the
indicted?
decision not
Was
to
she indicted?
Obstructed justice in a way that says I'm going to destroy the data on devices, and that I'm going to use physical means to physically destroy devices.
You thought it was divisive.
She literally obstructed justice after she was told that you need to preserve all this stuff because there's a thing going on. She literally destroyed or caused to be destroyed physical and digital evidence of her malfeasance. She had no right as Secretary of State to have a non-secure server and pass thousands upon thousands of emails across it that included top secret
fact check.
Okay, but it's gotta be like.
Hey, there is
like,
no
hold
dispute.
on.
Then I'm gonna
It's
fact.
There is a
We
dispute
gotta-
here. There is a dispute here. There absolutely
There
is a
is no
dispute.
dispute.
A simple Google search
Crenshaw,
shows that the emails were defeated months before the subpoena.
Okay, first of
deleted.
all,
Months before the subpoena.
Google was allowing the Harris campaign
Guys,
to
guys, I'm sorry to shut this down. I'm sorry to shut this down. I gotta shut it. You gotta let. Okay, goodbye. So we gotta keep moving because other people haven't been talking. Like President Sunday and Hake haven't said literally basically anything. So I'm going to throw it over to Hake.
All right. So to Adam's point about most Republicans think that the election is stolen in Congress, which I completely disavows for the sake of all the channels and because I don't know. I don't know what the details are. And they say that there's no way of knowing. They made it so there's no way of knowing. But I think it was the most secure in history, like the government tells us to believe. But that just shows that the Republicans are being peaceful even while believing all that stuff. And is Biden a capitalist or communist? He's a commie capitalist. He's just in bed with. He's been in the government forever, and he's in bed with the capitalists.
Define that.
Define it. It's the government and the big businesses in bed with one another against the people.
Hey, do you think Obama was born in America?
Let me just finish. Oh yeah, about the Obama thing. I'm not sure. I think he was probably based on Bill O'Reilly's claims. They looked into it. He was born in Hawaii, and of course, for the sake of the channels, I think that.
But he has Hussein in his name, man. Sorry, go on.
But it's interesting that both Trump and our greatest sheriff, Joe Arpaio, looked into it and found questionable stuff there. I think Obama may have just been trolling us. I think it's just a joke. Nobody really cares about it, except for boomers who care about, right and wrong and stuff, and the fake people who believe in like the racism stuff. But Obama divided the country racially more than anybody. Lecture fan pointed that out. He was bringing Black Lives Matter to the White House, and pre Obama, we were more racially united than after Obama, and that was predicted by people like Jesse Lee Peterson. And Trump, it's funny because Trump is the law and order candidate, and they're trying to act like he's this criminal.
Hold on, wait.
No, I'm Crenshaw. I'm sorry, I'm the law and order man. I'm sorry. President Sunday hasn't said anything basically the whole time, and I think that that entire sentence I think is just up Sunday's alley. So I wanted Sunday to.
I've been talking over everybody else. It's all good. But I am curious though if anybody else if we could go around the panel and we could say what the actual initial prompt was and give an example of when we've actually addressed it in the past, however long we've been doing this for. Also, on that
the
point,
the question was over
No,
divisiveness, and Trump is
Yeah.
the one who is like responsible for most of
like,
the.
I hate to fucking say it. Lonerbox the only one who's actually playing the answer to the fucking question.
No, I mean I've answered the question in my opening statement. I don't think Trump was a source. He might be the source right now, but I don't think if we're talking about sources, we just go to the most recent. I think the reason Trump existed in the first place was because you had very milquetoast, polite, very respectful conservative politicians playing the wrong game and losing elections because they were clapping down hysteria in their parties while Obama was silent when his vice president was saying that his opponent wanted to put black people back in chains, that he probably had, I forget the random things that their media outlets were saying. He was like doing like unsanctioned slave labor and refusing to pay, all these narratives about Mitt Romney that just ended up not being true at all. Obama was silent about them. And when you're silent about that growing and escalating mistruths and deceit that are really insidious, unless you think racism is not a big deal, those are really insidious claims. And you allowed an opening for a guy like Trump to gain hold in the party that was trying to play civility politics because you beat and abused them by calling them racists, calling them xenophobes, homophobes, misogynists, and then calling their candidates, who were clearly none of those things, the worst thing. Like saying he wants slavery back. He wants to put black people back in chains on the debate stage.
Keep in mind, what's happening Russia.
I want to pose a question because I want to drill down on this for a moment.
Okay, but I'd like to extend beyond what Jeb Tan is saying after. That's fine.
Okay. I think in Crenshaw has something to say as well. I think there's a few people that have things to say. But first, I just wanted to drill down on this for a second and ask, Jeb Tan, do you think that if that attack wasn't done on Mitt Romney, how do you think that would have affected like America's political divisions? Do you think that there would have still been a space for Trump? Do you think Trumpism, how would that have affected the development of the MAGA movement or certain divisions that you have said that, for example, I know that you believe that Trump has contributed to?
Yeah. I'm gonna talk fast so that it stays succinct. If you look at the way that Trump won, he had an initial really big bump in enthusiasm, and then actually, as voters started to think a little bit more, Ted Cruz started massively gaining right near the end, but he was just too late. I don't think people were bought and sold on Trump the way they were on Obama, the way that a lot of people describe it when they're recreating history, like Trump was the Republicans' Obama. Let him clarify. I'm trying to get a clarification. Don't interrupt his clarification.
I was asking like the misinformation argument, but sure, go ahead.
I don't know what that means, the misinformation argument. No, I'm talking about the attempt to have entire sectors of academia either defunded or removed from universities entirely. And I'm talking about the attempt to use. I'm talking about the attempt. Beg your pardon?
Oh yeah.
More explanation on that, please.
Well, but he's explaining it, and then you're interrupting his.
Yeah,
further explanation.
let's let President Sunday have 30 seconds because we have other people who are waiting.
No, it doesn't matter. The point is that if you're coming down to a point where you're just referring everything to the other party, you're not actually getting behind the cause of the divisions in the first place. Now, whether or not that's actually true or not is trivial. That could be the case or that could not be the case. However, the problem is that the way in which all of this conversation is oriented is that we are talking about questions that are so dire that you literally cannot physically, and Lonerbox is a constant victim of this, even when it's correctly, you cannot physically make any kind of overture to the other side or to a more moderate position without ceding ground to the other side with dire consequences.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I think that comes to the separation of perception and reality that the media has created. Because as you said, you think that there's one party that is just unanimously pulling money away from levels of intellectual pursuit that's going to damage the country. But then one of our strongest Republican governors has elevated his state to #1 in education through more investment into education, higher teacher salaries, higher professor salaries, better tenure programs, more involvement of parents and school boards. Like, he has improved education, and he is from the party you're saying is attacking intellectual pursuits in education.
Is that a reflection of the party as a whole, or is that just one person?
I think one of the strongest governors and most influential governors from a party does represent a good chunk of that party as a whole, especially when he represented one of the bigger voting shares.
When the whole party is calling for the ending of the Department of Education, doesn't that kind of just like disregard.
The whole party
exactly
is
what you just
not.
mentioned.
Hold on. The whole party is not calling for the. This is the
They
issue.
swear fealty. They swear fealty
should,
to
though.
a man who is backed by a movement that's claiming they want to destroy the
No.
Department of
See,
Education.
and this is the issue.
Good.
So
It is
they
not
swear-
the issue. It is
Hold
the
on, hold on.
reality. It is the
No, they
reality.
Rashad, stop interrupting me because you know what I'm going to say. They swear fealty, quote unquote, to a man who has only ever denounced the plan you're referring to, who has only
Oh,
ever
really?
created an agenda that directly conflicts with Project 2025. And the
Really?
only people that the Democrats are ever able to bring up that say that Project 2025 is Trump's plan are the people who wrote Project 2025 and are begging for it to be Trump's plan. It's like me
The
saying
people who
the
Donald
Steelers
Trump
are
is
going to start Justin
directly-
Fields. I am
Oh,
a
so
reputable
Donald
source
Trump and the
because I want
truth,
them to start
Donald
Justin
Trump and the
Fields.
truth are just tight like this, and we're just gonna ignore all the people directly involved in Project 2025 who say, yeah, we're talking to the guy. Many of us are gonna be in his administration, but he's
So you think Project 2025 is very honest? Project 2025 is Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation. You think they're very honest and Trump is a liar? Because you're saying,
do you
if he
deny the
said, she
obvious?
said.
Do you deny the fact that there is a connection between Trump's administration and them? He knows who they are. He associates with them. He talks about how their movement and their plans directly align with his. And then when they release
Except for when he
Project
talks about Project
2025
2025. Except when he talks about Project 2025.
when Trump says anything, regardless of any sort of conflicting information to the contrary, we're gonna ignore that and instead believe whatever gives him the best
Here's
image.
the issue, Rashad. No.
Okay, wait,
you are
wait,
only
wait.
accepting
That's
information
effectively
that
what
gives
you're
you
doing.
The worst.
Sorry,
no,
I'm
no.
sorry to shut this down, but I'm sorry to shut this down, but other people have been waiting very patiently.
That's a direct
You guys-
attack.
Okay,
on
a
me,
few
though.
things.
You guys have yeah. Over to Adam.
The entire reason the Project 2025 thing started is because I think Rashad said they want to eliminate the Department of Education. Did you say that? And then Jeff
Yeah.
Pan
That's not
said,
the reason why.
That's not why it started. They started attacking Project 2025 because it wanted to push like unprecedented power to the executive. That's why they started attacking.
no, I mean like 2 minutes ago. Were we talking about the Department of Education?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Donald Trump
yeah.
has said he wants to abolish the DOE. That is not coming
Good.
from Project
That's
2025.
Department of
Yeah, because you know what? Our schools were better before we had a federal
Look it up real
DOE.
quick,
Yep.
Jeff Tan. But also,
So we
can I go
just, we
back
just
like
destroyed
5
No, I
an
know the
entire
quote you're
department
talking about.
to solve.
No, it's not
what
just a
problem
quote. He says it all the
exactly?
time. I just want to
make your
clarify that
schools better.
Donald
is
Trump
the
wants to abolish
arbiter of
DOE.
truth, Google.
As did
Wait,
Randy.
Wait a second. I can't hear Adam, so please.
Let me take it back like 5 minutes. Jeb Tan, didn't you say something to the effect of the Republicans got more divisive because they were copying the winning model from Democrats?
No,
Something
not
about it.
from Democrats. I think the politics got more divisive because politics trended toward the winning formula. I think Trump's specific formula did get ripped from the Democrats and he exacerbated it. But I purposefully this entire time have been trying to not say it's the Democrats' fault for divisiveness. It's the Republicans' fault for divisiveness because I don't think it is. I think it is the natural incentive for inflammatory rhetoric because of 24/7 widespread media that has come as a result.
But hold on.
You keep bringing up
Don't you
one-
agree
Wait,
that Donald Trump?
Wait. We gotta pause this for a moment. We gotta pause this for a moment because who just said that? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. I lost my hearing in Ukraine a little bit. Okay, Adam, give me a second. I gotta chill because in about 20-25 minutes we're gonna start winding this down. And so I just want to say that for those who want to ask questions, and I will pose these questions to the people, if there's any burning questions from the conversation up to this point or that hasn't been said, people who donate right now in 10-15 minutes, I will ask the questions of the people before we let them get out of here because Hippy Dippy is back and I want to chill because I want better body armor. Okay, Adam, you can respond.
Yeah, Jeb Tan, you keep not to keep attacking you or whatever, but you keep cherry picking this quote from Biden about putting people in chains while ignoring that Rush Limbaugh dominated the airwaves throughout the 2000s. And if we want to go all the way back to Newt Gingrich, this article reads, Newt Gingrich immediately urged people to call Democrats un-American, traitors, shallow, and sick. The 1994 election changed the way American politics works because it convinced lawmakers from both parties to use the winning tactic, which is basically what you were saying, but it seems like Newt Gingrich is the one that kind of mainstreamed this tactic.
No, he didn't mainstream it. No. Woodrow Wilson, if you want to argue the strongman president, the opposing party is literally evil. If you want to pinpoint an original person, it's Woodrow Wilson. But who the fuck cares when the Republicans did it right after him and the Democrats
Are we going to go back
did it
to
right after them?
1913? Come on. Let's
But
talk about the
listen,
90s.
we're
too.
pretending.
Wait,
We're pretending like
1913,
we're
what?
pretending
Wait,
like
wait,
any.
wait.
We're pretending.
Stop.
But that's
Stop for a second, guys.
literally
Wait, no,
against
MBO. Hey, that was a barbed question in response, and I want to hear the answer to that. Adam just said Woodrow Wilson, really? That's like 100 years ago. Is Trump divisive because
That's what I was
Woodrow
saying.
Wilson, like was what Woodrow?
That's really your
No,
best
okay,
example?
hold on.
No.
Yes,
Okay, no,
this
wait,
This is ridiculous.
wait, stop. And Crenshaw.
Preeminent
I just
example.
I just said that he's gonna respond, so he's gonna respond. It was a barbed question, so he gets a chance to respond. Jeff?
Yes, thank you. Yes, history happens over a long period of time. I could also say Kamala's current stance on banning AR-15s comes from U.S. versus Miller and U.S. versus Heller, one of which happened before 1913. History happens over a long period of time. And for things to get so extreme as they have now, they had to have been ramped up over a long period of time. I think technology has made that exponentially faster, and that's why I don't think it's any party's fault. I think it's the 24/7 news cycle's fault. We've never had a 24/7 news cycle before the 2000s.
Okay, can I just
This
try
is
to steal
pretending. This is pretending here.
can I just try to steal on what you're saying, and then we'll move on from that, because it sounds like you're saying then that because of this 24/7 media we have, is it basically it's like a bipartisan issue where the media is incentivized to leapfrog each other in terms of sensationalizing and polarizing, and that's why you get that problem, and Trump just rode that wave. Is that more or less your argument?
I appreciate that steelman. Yes.
So I've steelmaned it. Now I'm just going to take it apart. Because again, it's not a partisan issue. Because when it comes to, even if that were the case, then Trump is still the one who took that and chose to take that of his own volition. And if people who support him chose to support him and make that deal with him to be the leader of the Republican Party, he's the one that did that of his own volition. He's the one who, and also Fox, if we're talking about the media, Fox News, I don't know what the Democrat equivalent of this is, but Fox News knowingly lied about the Dominion case. And so they did, because they didn't want to lose their viewers to Newsmax.
Just stop.
That's
We
why
don't
it's
disagree.
a one-sided issue.
We
And that's
don't
why,
disagree.
and that's why I'll say one more thing. One more thing.
thing.
One more thing. I'm just saying, inflammatory rhetoric isn't a bad thing if what you're saying is true. When people say one side is a threat to democracy or Democratic Federal Republic, that it's because it's true. Because he didn't accept the results of the election.
The issue is not everything they've been saying.
And he tried to overthrow the system.
Not everything they've been saying is true, though, is the problem. And that is the problem.
Generally, it's mostly true.
You're pretending
What
like
mainstream
Trump's
Democrat has lied about?
divisiveness.
Rashad is a great example of
You're pretending
what the
like Trump's
Democrats-
divisiveness is similar to anyone else. Can you bring up another president who falsely accused the seated president of trying to murder him?
Okay, actually, we're gonna throw that question to MPU.
Yes.
Can you name a former president who accused the seated president of trying to assassinate him in an FBI raid?
He
didn't say. Wait,
Look,
he did not say that President Biden was assassinated. He said
He did.
What do you think Trump was trying to communicate when he said that? Biden wanted to hold hands with him?
I don't know if I'm supposed to answer.
No, it's for
the CIA have anything to do with the John Kennedy?
No, Jeff can answer.
We're trying to move on this time.
Okay, well, look, if I may,
Everybody stop.
Little interjection.
No interjection. Shush. Okay, I was throwing the question over to MPU because we're trying to give everybody some speaking time. MPU, would you like to respond and go deep? Because I just wanted to give you an opportunity to move because you wanted to talk.
The idea that somehow this is one party versus another, I think the news media, by and large, since the 60s, right, since the Vietnam War effort and all of the radicalization that happened on college campuses, these were people that then became educators, and then they became parents of children who became educators. And there is a certain stripe of progressivism or communism or socialism that has pervaded itself through the education system. And to be honest, I think most people in this country, because they're having to work so hard in order to pay their bills and keep their family alive or afloat, that they somehow have forgotten what the impact of education has been on where people's political ideologies are formed.
I want to reply to MPU, and I'm going to be silent for the rest of the. I want to be silent for the rest of the panel. I just want to reply to MPU very quickly.
It all comes through the education system and the failure of American citizens, parents particularly, to maintain that control over what their kids are being taught and to hold their school systems accountable for how their children are being taught. And now
Sunday.
Multiple.
I just want my last word today.
Where we are.
Okay. Here's the deal. We've all been reducing this down to like this party, that party did, whatever. And yeah, there's probably a truth about that, but that's kind of beside the point. I know, but now I'm addressing you directly. MPU, at the end of this panel, you're going to be alone in a parking lot. It's going to be silent. And what I want you to think about is how your obsession with this, you as an individual, we know what the people in the parties are divided on. We know what their interests are. You as an individual, you put this shit above dealing with your personal life and making sure that you were in a good place with your family, with God, etc., etc. I want you to think about that when this call ends and you are in silence and there is no hope.
Look,
Bring it
you
back,
can
bring
say
it
that,
back.
but I'm
No
not
person-
going to
this
let
is-
you get away with it.
Okay, can I pose a
grew up
question?
in a
Can I
very
pose an
close
actual
family.
horrible,
question?
man.
We
Can I
have
pose an
good
actual?
Don't say that
Wow.
bullshit.
Can I
Because
pose
that's
an
not
actual
me.
question here?
That is society writ large, fucker.
That's
Okay,
disgusting.
this feels this
true.
was
Yeah, that
feels
was-
like
I have a question.
way
Still
off
true.
topic. I don't know.
I just have a question.
You've got a long,
Wait,
lonely
wait,
evening
wait,
ahead of you,
wait,
friend.
stop. We gotta quiet
Jordan.
down now. Look, for me, that's like way past the bar.
I'm
For my
not.
personal
Really?
opinion. Wait,
I'm
let me
not-
finish. Let me finish.
disgusting.
Let me finish.
And
Wait.
that's-
Yeah.
Let
Were
me
you
finish.
apologizing to
Socialism.
Brian Kai for accusing him of sexual assault before, Dylan?
That's the socialist
I
opinion
remember
on
that long
homelessness.
stream.
Sunday.
Can I
Sunday.
ask
You know
an
what?
You got
actual-
Loner Box here
wait.
defending killing
Okay,
kids.
we're
I
gonna
like you.
quiet down. Wait, we're gonna quiet down for a second. Everybody quiet down for a second. Sunday. The reason that's past the bar for
Somebody's
me
a fucking
because
prick.
my mother was homeless and I saw like drug addictions and personal shit like destroy her. I don't know why you're like, oh, bring out less drama. Hi, let's bully like the homeless person. This is so fun.
Bullying
Oh,
the
I'm
homeless
such a great.
person.
I'm just a
Bullying
great.
the
Look,
homeless
I don't like
person.
this. I don't just
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
All I'm gonna say is.
I'm
like,
sorry,
you're
this
taking
guy
out all drama.
isn't. Excuse me.
Look, this is my
And
one
then
warning.
second
Wait,
round
let's stop. I'm not done
reportedly
talking.
attacked
Everybody, I'm
people.
sorry. I even have to mute you. I'm sorry. This is my one warning. We're
No,
getting
no,
off of this.
I'll save you the trouble.
No,
It's all good, Dylan.
This is okay. Whatever.
President
Can
My
I
goodness.
ask an actual
Wait,
question, please?
Yeah, look,
Okay,
let
we're
it
gonna
be
go back
known
to okay.
that
Wait, like
MPU
one
got
second.
fucking
MPU.
President Sunday to charge out.
I mean,
We
that
love
is
the
true.
homeless.
I mean, anyway, we're gonna get back on topic. That was crazy. Who wants to grab this and bring us back to actual?
Can I bring it
don't
back,
know.
please? I have a question.
Rashad's
I have
on
an
it from the
actual
beginning.
question. Okay, I want to ask the conservatives here. When Donald Trump told congresswomen of color to go back to their crime-infested countries, what was he trying to communicate there?
He didn't say that. He said go back to
He
where
definitely
you
did
came
say
from.
that.
He
Because
didn't say
they're
go back to your
dividers.
countries.
They're in
he
here
said go
pushing
back to where you came from.
No, he said go back to your
He said
crime-infested
go back-
countries.
I'll tell you what.
They should.
Go
Show
back
me-
to your
show me the
crime-infested
actual quote
countries.
Where he said go back
I'm
to your
more
Who just
than
said they
happy.
should?
full of shit.
I'm
did,
more
yeah.
than happy. Trump.
Who just said they
I don't
should?
know.
Okay.
I don't know
Trump
why we're
is
doubting. I don't
lying
know why we're doubting that Trump definitely said this.
Trump
that sounds-
100%.
Hey,
Unfortunately,
hey,
They should.
Unfortunately,
Go back to where you came from.
he told them
Hey,
to
he's
go
saying,
back to
hey,
their
MPU, he said
crime-infested
Wait,
countries.
one at a time. One at a time. I wanted to
Yeah.
throw it to Adam to respond. I think he wanted to clarify something.
First of all, earlier President Sunday's like MPU. Someday you'll be lying on your deathbed, and this is what you'll be thinking about. It's just so dark. Like, why would you say something like that? But okay. Someone said something a second ago. Oh, Hake, were you the one that was saying that they should go back to their country?
Yeah, this is all
Oh.
talk. People are all upset about Trump's words. Give me a break.
Okay.
Trump's actions. Trump is the solution, not the problem. But go
So
ahead.
But
MPU, is Hake divisive when he says that? MPU?
No.
Please
Okay.
concede.
okay,
that.
so I have a question. So what is it about those congresswomen? Hold on. I have a question.
Wait,
One
wait,
more
one at a
question.
time,
Just one
one at a
more.
time.
Just
Wait,
one more.
wait,
One more question.
Wait. Both quiet.
And then
Wait
let me
for a
say
second.
one
Guys,
more.
if I
Let me
can't,
see whether I
I
give
can't.
you
You're making
more.
you're making my job difficult. I love the panel scene. So, Crenshaw, ask your one question quick, and then we'll have the response.
Okay, so my question is like, what about them makes them need to go back to their country? Like, what separates them from like all the other congressmen and women? Like, what is it about them that makes them need to go back? And given the fact that the majority of them were born here, where should they go exactly? I'm really curious.
He didn't.
Well,
he
Trump was
wasn't
going to
a-
deal with the anchor
hey,
baby issue.
He
Trump-
wasn't.
They're not
No.
anchor babies. So like, where do they
He
go?
wasn't
Some of them are.
saying go back to your country. What he was saying is, if you want to be a fucking dickhead for Brooklyn, go back to fucking Brooklyn.
No, he
That's
said
what he's
countries. He said countries. He told them to go
Yeah.
back to their countries,
okay,
not
show
their
me-
state,
These women-
to go back to
show
their
me-
countries.
show
I'm
me the
curious.
link to it.
I'm
If he
curious
didn't
as to
say-
why. Why
One
can
second,
you
Hake
tell?
thinks they
One,
should.
I'm
That's
sorry,
the big
one second,
takeaway.
guys. If
Post
you're all
the link.
yelling at the same time, literally nobody's hearing anything and nobody's gaining anything. So, Crenshaw, ask the question in a single second and sentence directed towards one person. That one person gets to respond, and then we move on.
Okay, is it MPU, right? I want to get the
MPU,
name
yes.
right.
And then
Okay.
MPU, you respond in a single paragraph.
Okay, when Donald Trump is telling them to go back to their crime-infested countries, why is he saying that to them specifically? Like, what makes them so special? And what he also said before they tell us how to do things. Who is us, and what makes them they, and what makes everyone else us? What separates them? I'm curious.
Well, they're clearly, obviously, white haters, man haters, and they
Okay.
come in with a foreign evil mindset that's
I'm gonna kill my-
anti-Christian, anti-white, anti-man, and so he's naturally going to speak the way that a whole lot of normal people think and feel, and he should have the right to do that. It's not as if they're actually going to go back. Did he actually try to get the government to do it? No.
But he said it
give me a
though, and
break.
that's
it's just
divisive,
talk.
isn't it? And no one else
No,
has
it's
ever
not.
done that. It is
Wait a second.
divisive.
Because he's
Let's
speaking.
be
He's
clear.
speaking how normal people
Let's
want
be
people.
clear.
So you
He
believe the
said,
average
"Go back
normal
to your
white person
crime
thinks that?
infested places where you came from, not your countries, Crenshaw."
Okay, I'll pull up
motherfucker,
exactly. I'll pull it up
it's right
exactly
here.
for you.
Wait,
Donald
let's
Trump
pause
said,
this
"No,
for
no,
a
no, no,
moment.
no.
Wait,
I got
wait,
it. I've got it. I've
no,
got it."
Crenshaw.
Let me clarify what he said. He's lying.
Okay, wait, no, let me just, I want
I'm
to
not
clarify
lying,
one thing.
it's
Wait, let me be
fucking
quiet.
USA
Let me be
Today.
quiet. Okay, I'm going to mute you both because I see the disagreement, okay? And I'm going to boil it down to its purest form. So, MPU, you're saying that when he says they came from, that doesn't mean their countries. Where Crenshaw, you're going to say, I assume that that's not the case.
No, I have the actual tweet. I
Can
got
I read the
that.
whole quote?
No,
Can
I
read the
have
whole
the
quote?
first part of the
One at a
tweet.
time, Crenshaw. I
I
throw it to Crenshaw. I throw it to Crenshaw.
Donald Trump says, this is the first part of the tweet. Donald Trump says, "So interesting to see progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe, the worst, most corrupt and inept anywhere in the world, in parentheses, if they even have a functioning government at all, now loudly and viciously tell the people of the United States," because apparently these congresswomen aren't people of the United States, "the greatest and most powerful nation on earth, how to run our government. Why don't they go back to their country and fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came, then come back and show us there's
He's still
a
showing the
separation?
fucking phone. What a
Us.
fucking
How?
loser.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
They
Rock,
don't.
MPU, I sent you that
Wait, we gotta give
article.
MPU a
Scroll
chance to
down.
respond. Let me hear
Every
MPU.
one
I
of
gotta
you
hear MPU
dickheads
respond.
is sitting in front of a computer.
Yeah, no, scroll down. MPU.
Wait, one second.
I
We
sent
got to
you
give MPU the chance to respond. What do you think of what?
There's
that
nothing
quote he
to
just said?
respond to.
There is nothing to respond to. You're right.
He's talking about people like Ilhan Omar, who literally fucking hates this country.
She's not
Okay,
the
so-
only one.
So if Trump did say
that
it,
is
fine.
not
literally
Exactly.
the biggest
justifiable.
anti-Semite in the fucking Congress. Crenshaw, do you want to support
Didn't Trump
Ilhan
invite
Omar
Kanye, an
and her
anti-Semite, to
fucking
Mar-a-Lago?
shit?
No, but
Okay.
here's-
Do you
No,
support
wait.
Ilhan Omar? Do you support Ilhan Omar?
I don't, bro. She's not a representative of my state. I don't give a
Do
fuck
you
about no
support-
Ilhan Omar. I don't know who that is. Check it out.
Okay, now let's end it there. We're ending it there. Wait, no, we're ending it there.
Nice.
We're ending it there because
I don't know
Because-
who she is.
Ilhan Omar is not in the
Is
room.
an
And I want to get to
anti-Semite.
the main and she's not in the room. Adam Mockler, we're gonna throw it to Adam quickly, and then I'm gonna pose the last question to the group, which is about mending political divides. If it's possible, if we should even do it, is something we should care about.
Can
Adam,
I just point out that over the past 3 minutes, MPU went from Donald Trump didn't actually say that to, yeah, fuck them, they should go back to their country. Do you support them? Yeah, like, you're going to say that these
I didn't
people are
say they
sitting
should
here.
go back to their
No,
country.
stop.
I
MPU,
never
Lecter
said
fan,
that
and
they
Hake.
should go back to their country.
Okay,
You
so
play this
when Hake said it, was
back,
it
you'll
divisive?
know that you're a liar.
When Hake said it, was it divisive? When Hake, you think they should go back to their country?
It would be great.
Okay, MPU, is that divisive?
If they don't want to fucking be in this country and be a contributing part of society, yeah, they should go the fuck back.
Okay, so
But they're
you-
congresswomen, though. They're obviously
If you
like
want to
participating in
live
society.
this country
Honestly,
and you want to
Hake-
contribute to this country, fine, be here.
But they're
You wanna make it
congresswomen,
better,
though, and
you wanna
like
heal
3 of
the
them were
division,
born
that's
here.
fine.
But like,
But
but
They don't belong
come
in
on.
everybody, they should
I just find it
divest
really
from
annoying that
fucking
people
Israel.
like Hake,
It's not-
But
Lecter
come
fan, and MPU.
on.
You know, Hake and Lecter fans seem like nice people, but they've been gaslighting us this entire panel. Lecter fans' opening statements was calling Democrats communists, saying Joe Biden is a communist. Hake made up a new term. Hake thinks that they should go back to their country. Like, just say it one more time. Ilhan Omar should go back to her country, right? Do you think that Muslims should be banned
Definitely.
from coming in, Hake? Because you guys are going to sit here and
Maybe.
say that we're the
Some of
divisive
them.
ones, and then Hake is going to be like, no, we should deport everyone. We should, like, it's just so
Yes.
annoying how you guys are going to sit
Oh,
here
we
and
should.
gaslight us.
We should deport
Those
every
are not
illegal
divisive.
alien. We should.
The truth is divisive. The truth is naturally going to be divisive, just as lies are divisive. You divide based on what's right, as Jesus did, as Trump is doing, and then you divide based on lies, which is what the Democrats and the rhinos are doing.
I feel
like
you.
how it's
I
really
feel
nice
you.
when
So,
they're doing
let's
racism.
let Hutch finish. Wait. Let's Hake finish. He hasn't talked much.
And then
this
I
show.
can go.
Yeah, Hake, you didn't get to finish. I didn't hear at the end.
Oh yeah. So I think that to answer that one, I think Jeb's question, yes, I think Republicans might really be stupid if that's a real Trump quote, because Republicans have been voting in people who just turn against them and work with the Democrats and just follow
Like
the lead of
Trump.
the Democrats.
Ooh,
And
cooperation.
it is, yeah, no, I love cooperation for what's right, but not just catering. And it is human nature to divide. I don't join into this blaming of the media stuff, because if the media were not exploiting evil human nature, if we didn't have the evil human nature within us, the media couldn't do anything. And it's not just the media. People are both spoiled and strained right now. And Trump can bring that back because he can bring back the economy. And when people are living well, they're less apt to blame other people. So, and he's also a uniter.
And less strained.
He's for love. What's that?
Like, my issue is you're describing problems that started with Trump. Like, yes, we did vote in basically Democrat into the presidency. His name was Donald J. Trump. He's like a 90s Democrat. His policy platform, he just had the Republican platform changed to basically be a 90s Democrat platform. And you literally said it. It kind of was a Freudian slip. But you said, yeah, I think Republicans are stupid, if that's a real Trump quote. You're like, I will take Trump's lead. If he thinks Republicans are stupid, then they are. Like,
well, they are. Look at how. Look, we voted for McCain. We voted for Mitt Romney. I'm glad they lost.
This is the other ridiculous thing.
Yeah. Insurrectionist, yes. McCain, no.
Romney,
no.
Let me respond. We're having a little back and forth. This can be done too fast.
Let's Jeb finish, and then I got to pose the question.
Okay. I need the cognitive dissonance to be bridged, but it takes effort from you guys to do so. MPU, do you realize the separation from reality that you demonstrate when you say McCain died on his sword but is a rhino? You're literally admitting that he died on principle and then accusing him of being unprincipled as a result. Like, these are the guys we want to elect.
There's a difference between dying on your sword for a principle that upholds the Constitution and then being one that just simply, I came to Congress as a broke dick motherfucker and then I left as a multimillionaire. That's
what sword did he
die
on?
What part of the Constitution gave Trump the right to overturn an election?
I want to hear that question from Jeb Tan's question. I want to hear. Can I hear that? That question.
What sword do you think McCain died on? When you say he died on his sword, what are you referring to specifically?
McCain thought that he was doing the right thing, which is fine, except he literally sold out the Constitution.
In what way?
Like Trump?
He could have literally ended Obamacare, which was an unconstitutional bullshit program, and he chose not to do it on his fucking deathbed. So yeah, he sold the Constitution out for his quote-unquote principles.
Out of hatred for Trump. Out of pure hatred for Trump, by the way.
Did Congress vote adequately to completely reverse Obamacare? They
did it with the 60-vote majority that cost them the 60-vote majority. You fucking ain't right, they did it, but they did it with Democratic support, not with Republican support.
Okay,
I'm
so now
still mind blown that someone like Hake
boomers.
exists.
I want to throw out but the final question. Hake, was there one? I thought you were going to say something at the end there, and before I pose the final question and we start to wrap this up, I wanted to make sure you got that chance because you were quiet most of the panel. I want to give you opportunity.
I encourage everybody to examine themselves. And, the Democrats were crying, Russia, 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 and denying the election like crazy. And everybody does it. Just cut them some slack. Once it came down to it, Trump was orderly. And that's how boomers and Christians and conservatives are. So
what was Trump doing for those 3 hours when all the goons were up inside the Capitol? I'm assuming he was.
I don't know, and I don't care.
You don't care?
They were mulling around. The damage was already done.
Hurt anybody?
What was he doing for those 3 hours?
They're persecuted. That's true. Lecture fan brought it up.
What about unemployment? What about fucking wage growth?
The moment you turn your back on the Constitution, I don't give a damn about your presidency. The moment you turn your back, the moment you break your oath, whatever you did as president, he took the oath. He took the oath and he wiped his ass with it.
Everybody, I'm sorry to say we're shutting it down because I think we have not fixed our political divides today. I thought we were gonna do it. I thought we were really close, honestly.
The Trump sexuals, they spin it on it, like, bro, like I don't know what to tell you, like.
And wait. Before we all go away, it's the
MPU,
last question, everybody.
Last question.
MPU,
everybody
with a sorry.
I don't
Law
care.
and order. I need the law and order presidency right now. Okay, look. I know that we had a lot of heated debate today, and everybody here couldn't disagree with each other more, but I want to throw something out there. Obviously, this conversation in and of itself is an example of the amount of political divisiveness and polarization, as Loner Pox put earlier. So I wanted to ask you guys, how do we mend the divide? Should we mend the divide? And can we mend the divide? Those are the 3 questions. I'm going to pose it first to Adam Mockler.
Muted.
That's a brilliant point, Adam.
Wait, say it again. How can we and should we?
How should and can we? Or you can put it whatever order you want.
I definitely think we can, but I don't even know, like, it's such a broad question. Something that I've always said is media literacy classes from a young age could probably help a lot of the disinformation right now, and maybe helping the disinformation landscape could, in a roundabout way, help the division. So, like, my answer would be media literacy classes, but that's just one aspect of it.
Okay. And where can people find you, man?
Oh, youtube.com/Adam Mockler. Go check it out.
Awesome, man. Did you have a good time on the revamped Hippy Dippy?
This was great. Thank you for having me on. I'm glad that everyone... If I started yelling at you guys, I haven't eaten much today, so sorry if I was mad. But I want to say, Real MPU was screaming with his face red, saying that Democrats were the ones who were divisive. He's sitting there, like, throwing a bitch fit, saying that we're the ones who are crazy. It's just kind of ironic.
Okay, well, that means I have to throw it over to MPU, because that's the only dignified thing I can do is let the man respond.
Screaming.
No, I'm sitting in a hot-ass truck, and that's why it's red, and it's raining, it's very humid here. And I'm an old motherfucker, so that's why. My point about all of this, you talk about media literacy classes, what about people holding fucking politicians to account for being truthful and being honest about what they're doing? We talk about, like, oh, Trump did this, did that, he's this, he's that. When you look at what Trump's policies actually did, his policies were actually very good.
Which one?
Okay? The way that the news media, maybe the media literacy classes would be good. But then we have to question who the fuck is actually teaching the media literacy class. Okay? The media is literally driven by the left. So when conservatives feel like they have to push back in a way that gets the message across, and they have to be loud and proud about what it is, it's very true. Everybody, they called it the Inflation Reduction Act. It drove fucking inflation. It drove it off a cliff. Okay? When politicians don't tell the truth, there's no media literacy that's controlled by one side that's going to make that better. The only thing that's going to make it better is people taking responsibility for themselves, their children, their children's education, and teaching them how to discern fact from fiction.
And where can people find you?
I am a homeless vet right now. I don't really have a streaming library, as you can tell, because I'm talking to you out of my car. But when I do stream, I stream on Twitch at the More Perfect Union, on YouTube at the More Perfect Union 4812, and a number of other sites. Come check me out. I'm on Twitch. On X, Twitter, at the Real MPU. Follow me, please. I need the money.
Okay, I'm gonna now throw out a few questions, because we did get a few before we finish with the rest of the ending statements, because there's more ending statements to do, but shake it up a little bit. Here's one. I thought this was an interesting one. Let me bring it back up here. Here it is. Do any of these folks know where Ilhan Omar was born? You might shed a tear while watching Black Hawk Down, right? Do you wonder why a refugee from Somalia would leave there?
Somebody that escaped that kind of totalitarian bullshit would come here and be a socialist?
Hey, I thought we were
I wonder that.
We're doing both. I'm doing both the milk and
Nice.
lecture fan. Lecture fan, don't you want me to have soft padding? Don't you want me to have better body armor, lecture fan? You know what, lecture fan? But if do you want to answer the question?
I'm ready to go.
Or wrap it up.
Yeah. So we can and we should heal the political divide, and the only way you can do that is the way it's always done, which is one side wins and the other side loses, and that's why conservatives and Americans that believe in our Constitution, that Americans that believe in capitalism and basic notion, free speech, the Second Amendment, gun rights, et cetera, et cetera. Those Americans have to defeat. We must defeat these radical leftist, psychopathic, atheist, anti-America hater scumbags, and that's what we're going to do when we reelect Donald Trump and we reelect Tim Sheehy in Montana to the U.S. Senate and take out that Washington fat cat John Tester, and he's gone forever. That's kind of what I believe. And you guys can find me at Lecture Fan on every single platform: YouTube, X, Twitch, you name it, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Lecture Fan, LCTRFAN. You can see it on screen. I'm the man. Let's go.
Okay, thank you. And recently unbanned. Now we have a question, more statement about Lonerbox from Rabbit Brain, and he seems to be I think he's a Britbonger. Despite Lonerbox being an anti-monarchist, I'm a monarchist for note. He's the most sane person on the panel. Thanks, Dylan, for rebooting Hippy Dippy. Why, thank you. I guess I'll throw it to Loner now.
I think as well as just media literacy, even like basic chronology helps. For example, if you knew about how time works, you would know that inflation spiked in 2022 at 9%. Then the Inflation Reduction Act was passed near the end of the year, and now inflation is down to 3%. That's how time works. You could also go into how Trump's big policy that he got through was basically just tax cuts. You can go or separating families at the border. You can talk about his foreign policy and how he abandoned the Kurds in Syria or in Turkey for no fucking reason. You can talk about Jerusalem, how he moved the embassy there, and then that resulted in riots at Al-Aqsa. By the way, little known fact: if you ask most Palestinians why October 7th happened and why they thought it was justified, it's because of settler riots in Al-Aqsa, because people were emboldened by Trump moving the embassy to Jerusalem. But you can talk about how free speech, even though Trump is the one who's floated multiple times, including this year, the idea of jailing people for burning the flag. You can talk about Fox News and literally all these media organizations who admit that they are lying to Republican voters and being behind the scenes going, I can't believe people believe this shit, but we need to do it because they'll otherwise go to Newsmax. At the end of the day, you made a deal with the devil. Trump tried to coup the government. He failed miserably. You don't get let off the hook for trying, though. Lots of coups fail. I think everyone who has followed, and especially after this panel, everyone who has followed Trump to this fucking cliff edge basically deserves to eat their own weight in fucking shit for the next 10 years before they finally come back to reality. Yeah.
Okay, let's just have 8 more years.
We're gonna throw it over to Hake. Hake, have you gone? I don't think you've gone yet.
Right. Thank you, Dylan. And to Lecture Fan's point, if the liberals win, if the communists win, I have already submitted my petition for Dylan Burns to have a little bit of extra mercy on me and hopefully my friends in the gulags, because it's good to, honestly, it's good to try to get along with everybody as far as it depends on you. Don't compromise what you believe, but you have to work with people, and that's what Trump does very well. And so watch yourselves. I think anger is the root issue in most people. Thanks, guys. And you can find me at thehakereport.com. Thehakereport.com.
Hake will be getting an extra fungus ration in the gulag. I appreciate it.
Soylent Green, I think, is what will be served under the Harris administration.
Soylent Green. Open question from Uncle Iroll. What kind of body armor would Dylan get and best bang for his buck? I don't think anybody here can give me that advice. Can anybody here give me that advice? MPU, you're a veteran, aren't you?
I'm a veteran. What was the question again?
What would be the best body armor for me? What do you think?
Oh, you got to do plate. You got to do ceramic armor, man.
Okay, ceramic. That is the right call, actually. Unironically, the steel.
I was in the Navy. We didn't wear body armor, but I'm not stupid, so.
Absolutely. Now we're gonna throw it now.
As much as all the guys would think on the panel would like to think I am not smart, I'm actually pretty smart.
No, you seem intelligent, just not in the way that politics.
Compartmentalizing. Some people are good at some things, not so much others.
Yeah, well, I have a real job. I can't walk around with a cellular backpack filming shit at the DNC.
Hey, I think
to be fair, I don't do that either. That's Zoomer shit.
We're gonna throw it now over. We're gonna now throw it over to Crenshaw.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with Adam Mockler by saying, media literacy is a very big thing. I think also civics literacy is a very big thing. I think, watching Republicans go back to their districts and brag about legislation they refuse to actually support is never not insane to watch. I think that the division can be mended, it should be mended, but the only way it can be mended is for every single person who aided and abetted Donald Trump's insurrection and supported him after to go to prison. I think once that happens and people understand that there is a serious penalty for betraying the Constitution and that it will cost you possibly the rest of your life in prison, I think maybe we'll see a significant improvement in our nation's cohesion. So, yeah.
So basically, if we capitulate to the left, we'll be good.
If you follow the Constitution, you won't spend the rest of your life
If you
in
follow
prison.
the Constitution,
Okay, wait,
Yeah,
we're
just not true.
wrapping up.
That would
We're
be
on a
satisfying.
tight schedule. Tight chip. Chip Tan, I gotta go to the bathroom. You wrap us up. I'll be right back, everyone.
Yeah, I'll give myself a self-imposed 2-minute timer. Yeah, I think to bang some drum that I think people are tired of hearing because they don't know what it means is critical thinking, I think, is the key to bridging the divide. Not critical thinking in terms of think and be critical of everything you've ever heard or looked at. Be critical of your own thinking. When you see a news article that gets you really angry at a group of people, analyze, are you angry at that group of people because it's true, or are you angry at that group of people because you've been presented a selection of facts that is designed to make you angry at a group of people? I think there are people on both sides in this conversation who are not critical in that context, and I think at least in political context, it's a really easy not to be critical in that sense. When I came to my sort of diagnosis that the media is the problem, it was a clinical diagnosis. I diagnosed it by treating it, and I treated it by looking at the different conversations I have and which ones are the best. It's the ones where people on both sides of the aisle will openly and proactively call out their own party's mistakes, call out their own media's lies, call out their own media's misinformation, and call out their own emotional biases in the conversation. And that tends to cure the issue, which created a clinical diagnosis of bridging this personal divide, not political divide, because political divides do not need to be mended, but the personal divide needs to be mended by proactively conceding whenever you have the opportunity to. Don't look at concessions as a loss. Look at concessions as an opportunity to bridge the gap in a personal conversation, because at the end of the day, none of us are winning or losing an election with the concessions we make in a conversation, but we can win or lose coalitions, friendships, and empathy from the other side if we refuse to make concessions when there's an opportunity to do so. And I've seen a lot of concessions on both sides where there were really great opportunities for very easy concessions to be made, not being made, mostly from my side. So I agree that it is my side's turn right now to play with the wheel of hardcore proactive political division. And the only way to mend that is to pull our hands off the wheel purposefully and actively.
Give in. Let the Democrats take over.
And with that, we have now ended the first debate of the Hippy Dippy Roundtable being back. I hope you all had a decent time, or at least you got something out of it, some experience, whether it be, joy or shame, whatever it was. Thank you so much for coming on. Hope you guys have a great night, and thank you so much for taking the time to come on tonight. Thank you.